And I thought my jokes were bad.
This is the same Batman, except that really it wasn't until the end of the last movie that we saw that Bruce Wayne had sort of achieved his Batman persona. And so with this film, you know, Christian just jumps into the character sort of fully formed in a way. And so he moves on from where he was, and he's tested in new and different ways, and he's subject to a lot of questions about assumptions he's made about how he's going to be able to carry on being Batman.
So welcome to the 7th episode of our special side series dedicated to my favourite superhero, Batman. I'm Stephen Nicholson, and over the course of 10 shows we're rewatching, critiquing and ranking all the Batman movies up to 2022's The Batman. In the previous show we discussed Christopher Nolan's fresh take on the Caped Crusader in 2005's Batman Begins. Today we continue the resurgence with perhaps the greatest Batman movie of all, 2008's The Dark Knight.
Where do we begin? A year ago, these cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened?
So what are you proposing?
It's simple. Kill the Batman. Here's my card.
Bruce, this is Harvey Dent.
Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not. You once told me that we'd be together. Did you mean it?
Bruce, don't make me your only hope for normal life.
You're Alfred, right?
That's right, sir.
Any psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of?
Oh, you have no idea.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're tonight's entertainment. Well, hello, beautiful. You look nervous.
I've seen now what it would have to become to stop men like him.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. I promise you, the dawn is coming.
And here we go. This city deserves a better class of criminal. And I'm gonna give it to him. No! You'll see. I'll show you.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Will you be wanting the back put, sir?
In the middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle.
The Lamborghini, then.
Much more subtle.
This is a more mature Bruce Wayne. This is a Batman who absolutely is still warring with himself, but it's somebody who has come to have power and is now dealing with the burden of responsibility of that power. And is somebody who is being accused of kind of raising, like it was suggested at the end of the first movie, escalation. That he's kind of attracting freaks, you know, a different sort of breed of criminal to the city. He's somebody who's looking for an out. He doesn't want to keep doing this forever, you know? Yeah. It's not good for his personal life, you know? What is good for Batman, it tends to be terrible for Bruce Wayne. And so he's looking for an elected official who can wipe out crime and corruption, and he sees that in Harvey Dent. And so he sees the future of Gotham, but also, more importantly for him personally, he sees the finish of Batman, where he can put it aside and he can get on with his life finally.
Now, among other things, I love that Chicago accent Ledger is doing in this role. The movie is long, it's not perfect, but despite an insane amount of hype, this is one blockbuster with brains and class. It should work equally well for the Batman geeks and the Batman-averse, and Ledger deserves the supporting actor Oscar. I think so. Come early 2009, truly, he's great.
Yeah, I think it's a great film as well. I'm glad you mentioned that it's too intense, I think, for younger kids. You know, with all the commercials and everything out there, I think there's going to be a lot of battles in households with people.
Well, it's selling everything from Reese's peanut butter candy to everything else. And yeah, there's a lot of that. I think the great thing that Nolan does here is when most of the violence happens, it happens like that. It's really quick, it's beautifully staged, and it's brutal.
And that makes it more realistic, Michael, I think.
Yeah,
than you see in other superhero movies. But I do think for 8 and 9-year-olds, it's too intense. For everybody else, it's a great film. It's funny because after we talked about it last week, and I mentioned that it could be a contender for Best Picture, people are like, whoa, it's a superhero movie. And I'm like, well, if a fantasy epic like Lord of the Rings can get multiple Oscar nominations and wins, and if a musical like Chicago can win Best Picture, why can't a superhero film also be considered? And of course, Heath Ledger. I mean, there's a lot of Oscar buzz already, and it's well deserved. And
what we're talking about here is we're talking about pulp, but it's it's elevated to the absolute highest level of Hollywood craftsmanship. And why not enjoy it on those terms? You know, I think it's very silly.
And everybody in this film, I mean, we're all focusing on Heath Ledger, and deservedly so. But Christian Bale, who has kind of the thankless, almost like the straight man role, if you will.
Right.
Everybody gets to play off him. Morgan Freeman, Gary Oldman, Maggie Gyllenhaal, all these performances from these A-list stars,
all in the
are
same
top
movie
quality.
too. That's the thing. And you talk about the intensity and the violence. Look, compared to the second Batman picture that Tim Burton did with Danny DeVito as the Penguin, which was just utter perversity and kind of morbidity for no purpose, no real dramatic purpose. This thing dramatically just works.
The Dark Knight was released in 2008 and directed by Christopher Nolan. With the help of allies Lieutenant Jim Gordon, Gary Oldman, and DA Harvey Dent, Aaron Eckhart, Batman, Christian Bale, has been able to keep a tight lid on crime in Gotham City. But when a vile young criminal, calling himself the Joker, Heath Ledger, suddenly throws the town into chaos, the caped crusader begins to tread a fine line between heroism and vigilantism. The movie grossed over $1 billion worldwide on a budget of $185 million. It therefore made nearly 5.5 times its budget, and it was the top-grossing movie of 2008. Ratings-wise, it has a 94% fresh Rotten Tomatoes critic score and a 94% audience score. On IMDb, it has a 84 out of 100 critic metascore and a 9.0 out of 10 audience rating. Did you know that this was the first comic book movie to reach the 1 billion mark worldwide? And in summary, dark, complex, and unforgettable, The Dark Knight succeeds not just as an entertaining comic book film, but as a richly thrilling crime saga.
Only you can save Gotham City. Spring into action with your awesome Mega Cape. Then, transform your belt into a motorized rapid-fire launcher and take out Gotham City's biggest bad guy, the Joker. Can you be the ultimate Batman? Mega Cape accessory and rapid-fire utility belt each sold separately. Batteries not included. Play games at DCHeroZone.com. Ask your parents first.
And here we go.
So yeah, I first seen The Dark Knight on original release back in 2008, and more recently in 2022 in 4DX. And yeah, I mean, I remember there was so much hype for the Dark Knight. Batman Begins had been a moderate success theatrically, but really found its audience on DVD and TV afterwards. And there was an excellent viral campaign by Warner Bros. 2. And of course the death of Heath Ledger, I suppose, brought a morbid curiosity to proceedings, as of course he was playing the Joker, one of pop culture's most famous characters.
You see, I'm a guy of simple taste. I enjoy dynamite, and gunpowder, and gasoline.
Did it disappoint? Absolutely not. This movie has a legitimate claim at being the best movie based on a comic book of all time. Why is it so good though? Well, for a lot of reasons I stated for Batman Begins' greatness. However, whereas Batman Begins was an origin story, this is a crime drama. And because of this and the blue filtering of the movie, it was likened by some to 90s classic Heat, starring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. The surprising aspect of the movie is that much of it takes place in daylight on location, which is a real pleasant change for a Batman movie. The cast are uniformly excellent in this. Ledger turns in one of the great performances as the Joker. He's scary, funny, surprising, unhinged, intelligent, deceitful. He's outstanding in this.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan? You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. I just do things.
And I think Aaron Eckhart's performance as Harvey Dent does not get as much praise as it should. He is absolutely sensational in the climax of the movie. I mean, I really remember my palms sweating as he threatened Commissioner Gordon's family in the final act of the movie as the music raised the tension.
You think I want to escape from this? There is no escape from this. You don't want to hurt the boy, Harvey. It's not about what I want. It's about what's fair! You thought we could be decent men in an indecent time. But you were wrong. The world is cruel, and the only morality in a cruel world is chance. Unbiased, unprejudiced, fair. His son's got the same chance she had. 50-50.
It was a shame that Katie Holmes did not return as Rachel, and that does kind of take you out of the movie a little bit. It would have been nice to have had that continuity of cast. The script, really, I mean, there's logic leaps and a few plot holes there, but it all moves along at such a pace and is so entertaining you can forgive them. I mean, the script keeps you on your toes. I mean, one of the things which was great in it was when the Joker deliberately misleads Batman into thinking he's going to save Rachel, when in fact he's going to get Dent. It's also, great looking cinematography, production design, direction, music, the practical effects, and it's underpinned by the performances of Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne Batman.
Don't let me find you out here again.
We're trying to help you.
I don't need help.
Not my diagnosis. What gives you the right? What's the difference between you and me?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
And Michael Caine as Alfred.
People are dying, Alfred. What would you have me do?
Endure, Master Wayne. Take it. They'll hate you for it, but that's the point of Batman. He can be the outcast. He can make the choice that no one else can make. The right choice.
So overall, an absolutely wonderful movie. One of my all-time favourites and fully deserving of all the praise it got. And for me, not unsurprisingly, I rank this as top-tier Batman.
Like trimming the movie fat, why not check out our other podcast, Trimming the Musical Fat?
We've perhaps reached a franchise high. Can Christopher Nolan top it with his final Batman sequel, 2012's The Dark Knight Rises? Come back next month to hear what I think of it. Before we go though, I'd love to hear what you think of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Please get in touch and we'll read out your comments on one of the upcoming shows. You'll find our contact details in the show description. So see you soon on the same Bat channel. Until then, keep trimming.
Trimming the Movie Fat is a Stephen and Paul Nicholson production. We'd love to hear from you. Contact us by voicemail via the Spotify link in the episode description. You can email us at trimmingthemusicfat@gmail.com. Keep up to date with the show and access exclusive content by joining our Facebook group, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and following us on TikTok. You can also check out our website at trimmingthemusicalfat.com. Thanks for listening.